This is Richard Chandler here, manager at Boston Film Family, director of the up and coming horror movie Parts Unknown. And I was contacted by an evil clown, the Bleeding Critic, and he wanted me to come on here and talk to people and explain a little bit about a couple of strange things that have happened to me. So, welcome to my horror therapy session. Let's see where to start. I think the year was 2009. We were filming a movie that I had directed called Heaven and Hell at my uncle's house in Massachusetts. And myself and the director of photography were upstairs, and we were setting up a shot. And there was a lot of traffic, a lot of people, actors, PAs, they seemed to be in the way, so we had to tell them to get out of the shot. And there always just seemed to be something there. We kept looking through the viewfinder, kept looking through the lens, and there was just a shadow on the side of the wall. And we eventually got mad. I went out into the hallway and no one was there. And I kept walking down the hallway until I got to the end, and I went into another room where the rest of the crew, the film crew, were all in there kind of huddled in the corner, shrugging their shoulders like, what the hell's wrong with you? So I thought somebody was playing tricks on me, and I walked back, and we called an action, we went to shoot, and the shadowy figure was back, and this time I still thought it was a crew member trying to get the better of me and to test my patience. So I yelled. I got pissed, and the figure vanished. Later that day, I approached my uncle, and I was telling him about the woes of dealing with people on set, and he said, "Oh, what? So you saw her too? The shadowy figure in the white dress and in the room upstairs in my house?" And I said, "Oh, shit." So then I think it was the same year I was staying at an ex-girlfriend's summer home, and I felt kind of the same feeling that I felt then, a very strange feeling like all eyes were on me and my hair was standing up a little bit, but I didn't think too much of it. We were sleeping in a bed at a house that nobody was in for a while. It was a summer home, and I was woken up in the middle of the night around 2 in the morning. And I felt something petting my head, and I couldn't go back to sleep because it happened several times. So I woke her up, and I told her there might be a bug, insects in the bed, and we searched the entire room. We went through every inch thinking there could have been bugs or fleas because it was a summer home, and we couldn't find anything. So I decided while I was up to take a piss. I went to the toilet and I looked into the mirror. My hair was standing up and I had goosebumps everywhere, and I didn't think anything of it other than, I don't know, didn't think anything. So the next day I said to her, I said to my ex-girlfriend, "So what was that all about? Did you ever find any bugs?" And she said, "No, but the same thing happened to my sister in the same room a couple of years before, and her hair was standing up too." I said, "Well, I'm glad you didn't tell me that in the middle of the night, because that probably would not have been appreciated." At least I got to sleep. And the last story I'm going to tell you is on the set of my most recent project, Witch Hunt. We were filming a very disturbing and creepy scene in an old mill that is in Massachusetts that is now a photo studio. And we went, we were setting up the shot. The guys who were setting it up, they left. They went to do something else, and me and an associate Dave McDonough walked into the room, and there were some boards on the. We were boarding up the windows, to keep out the natural light, and all of a sudden they popped off, which they had been all day, so we didn't think much of it, and they popped off, and there was like a beam of light um, from one of the windows, and very clearly I saw, a humanoid figure float through. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to come off as crazy. So Dave goes, "Oh shit, you see that ghost?" I said, "Oh shit." So yeah, I couldn't, just one of those weird, undeniable things. So yeah, that's those are some stories that I felt like sharing. I feel like they were kind of real, nothing too outlandish, something that could have happened. You can find me at Boston Undead on Twitter, Boston Undead on Instagram, and you can find us Boston Film Family on Facebook. And love to hear from you people. And thank you, Bleeding Critic, for giving me a chance and giving everybody a little horror therapy.